Hi, my name is Mark Millar. I'm a writer and producer, and I'm here to pledge my support to the Labour candidate for Glasgow North, Pam Duncan-Glancy. Now, I've worked in the States now for maybe 20 years, but I've always lived in Scotland, and it's important to me to live in Scotland. It's where my family are too, so I wanted my kids to grow up around their cousins and all their friends. And sometimes that can be quite difficult, because it means I can maybe sometimes go for a day's work in Los Angeles and spend 2 days travelling there and back. I've had to do that 3 times in the last 2 months. But this is my home, and it's important to me that we have the right people representing us at home, the right government governing us at home, because this is the country that my kids are going to grow up in. So for that reason, I think I've never been more excited about what's happening in the country at large. We see some terrifying things happening in the world, but we see some good things happening too. And really, since 2015, since Jeremy Corbyn's been elected leader of the Labour Party, I've never felt so optimistic about the future of the country. I know it could go the wrong way, but just talking to friends and just sort of travelling around the country, I just see a groundswell of enthusiasm, especially in the last few weeks. And I'm especially excited, for where I live too, because I think we have an exceptional candidate in Pamela. I think I want to talk about really the positives really here more than the negatives. I don't want to talk about the SNP's record of failure. I don't want to talk about us falling behind England in the education league tables and their growth being 4 times slower than England at the moment. It's all that sort of stuff is meaningless, and I hate mudslinging. I like a lot of people in the SNP. I think a lot of people have good intentions, but I think what we're looking for here is something bigger than that. We're looking at really the whole country, and we want everybody to be okay here. And I think Corbyn has given us a figure that we've not really had probably since 1945 with Clement Attlee. It's somebody who is going to transform the country in a way that we certainly haven't seen in my lifetime. And there's a lot of good guys out there. I like a lot of my friends are in the Greens. I've got Lib Dem pals. I don't have any Tory pals really, but there's a lot of good people out there, who you might be thinking about voting for. And I'd urge you not to, especially I think if you live in the Glasgow North constituency or Scotland in general. I think if you're thinking about voting Conservative and you live in Scotland, you're out of your mind. I mean, let me tell you about really the last 40 years and a country that's been utterly decimated by Thatcher and Thatcher's successors. But unfortunately, it's something that seems to be rising again. And the idea in some parts in the east end of Glasgow, people are bringing conservative politicians to the fore is pretty disgusting. We almost deserve it if we're the people in Scotland who give Theresa May the majority that she's maybe going to slimly get. It's kind of our fault if we do that, and we kind of deserve her as Prime Minister. But hopefully that's not a situation that we're going to be looking at. I'd rather really talk about the positives though. Like I say, I'm so excited about really what's on offer here. I've never seen a manifesto like this. I mean, the rich guys who owns the newspapers will obviously call this the longest suicide note in history, but really they're the guys that's going to be committing suicide, because really for 95% of the country this looks pretty damn good. I guess if I was the Bartley brothers or I was Rupert Murdoch or somebody who owned a massive media empire, I guess I probably would feel a little bit differently about somebody like Jeremy Corbyn, but just as a guy living in Scotland, I just find it so exciting. And when I look at a manifesto that, people for years have always said the Tories and the Labour Party are just the same thing. They've said that for nearly 30 years now. It's impossible to say that now. When you're looking at 1 million new jobs, being promised in the next 5 years, like £10 an hour minimum wage, the trains being brought into public ownership, gas, electricity, the post office back in public ownership, social care in schools being transformed, 0 hours contracts being scrapped, and scrapping tuition fees. And really scrapping tuition fees, not what's happened here in Scotland where they just cut the number of places and then bring in other people to sort of pay for it. Actually just paying for it through higher taxes from people who can afford it, just taking business taxes to where they were just a few years ago. So it's so exciting, and it's the reason I joined the Labour Party 2 years ago when Corbyn looked like he was going to be an option. And I'm not disappointed. I feel we're going into battle here, but the victory is by no means assured. But what a different position we're in from even 4 weeks ago. The country's waking up to this, seeing the terrible misrepresentation of Corbyn in the media, even by some of his own backbenchers. All these people who have been out to get him really since he came in. People with their own agendas, but it's so cool. And somebody like Pam as our candidate here, I think I'd be voting Labour regardless because I'm so passionate about this election. But somebody as excellent as her, and somebody I think who's so caring and so unique. I mean, her own story is an amazing story, and I don't mean to be patronising with it, but I just think it is quite a moving story. The idea that when she was a baby, she was diagnosed with juvenile arthritis. She's been in a wheelchair since she was 5. She went to university and now works in the NHS. She's a disability campaigner. You know, she just doesn't seem like somebody who's in this for herself. You know, you see a lot of people just lining their own pockets who are in Parliament. You see corruption at every level in a lot of different parties, you know, but like, but she just seems like a basically good person and somebody you could be sort of proud of to knock on doors for, which I've been doing. Like here in the West End of Glasgow and the rest of Glasgow North, I just hope people realise what we've got here and what an opportunity we have here, not just with her as a candidate, but with Labour as a whole. It's not even once in a lifetime, you know, this feels like I say, it's been 3 generations since we've had somebody this exciting emerging as a potential Prime Minister for this country. And imagine waking up on Friday morning and it's good news. And it could go either way, you know. I mean, if enough people actually get out there and vote, that's what it's all about, isn't it? You know, if people believe in this to the extent that my social circles certainly do, you know, we could have a really brilliant Friday ahead of us. So let's do it, and let's not waste time. Just this one election, let's not, you know, waste time with other parties. Let's go for the alternative government here. Let's vote Labour and vote Pamela here in Glasgow North. Thanks.